right, so here's what I'm working on today. I'm working on getting power from here all the way over to my shop. So the plan is to run this down along the side of the house here all the way down to the corner, and then once I get down to the corner I can use the excavator and dig a trench across the shop. So there's already conduit here from where the builder attempted to hook electric to the shop. I think it's one of these, maybe it's this one, but they ran cable that was like way too small. So there's like no way I could get 100 amps over there, so I've got to redo it, which is kind of irritating because I already paid for it. So I guess I'll get that conduit and just pull it out as I go. I'll try to save the wire so maybe I can use it for something else. I think it's like they use like 6-gauge wire to run 140 feet 100 amps, which is just not, I don't know what they were thinking. But anyways, I've got a, see, they put it on a 30 amp breaker, which is not what I wanted. But so I've got a 100 amp breaker to put here, and then I've got some, I think it's 2-aught mobile home service entrance cable, and we're going to run that from here down, over, and over to the shop. So that's what I'm working on today. It's basically going to be a lot of digging. I got to dig all this by hand up until I get to the end. I could come out here, but I've got a propane tank there. I've got propane lines that come out and around and over to the generator. I've got low voltage wires going to the landscape lighting. I've got the main service line that comes in through here. There's a lot going on in this area, so I'm just gonna tuck it up right up against the house. I'm gonna try to get it down as deep as I can, and we'll take it right on down. The wire I got is direct burial, so we don't need conduit. Here, I'll show you what I got. So I did this conduit, the smaller stuff I got for low voltage. I'm going to run an Ethernet cable across, but this is actually the wire. So it's 2-aught 1 4 aluminum, so that should do the trick. So I guess I got to get digging. These guys are no help as usual. All right, I got that trench dug 24 inches deep all the way down. Had to go around all the other conduit and everything else coming out of the house, but I got it done. Had some help over here. So, Gino, stop. I don't need that dug up. They love dirt. But I got the old wire pulled out. Disconnected that, and I think the hard part is over. This was the hard part, digging all the way down the house. Now I should be able to grab the excavator and go straight across with it. This is the wire that they ran originally right here. It's oh, it's 8-gauge 8-gauge wire. So it's not big enough. I told them I wanted to run a welder and everything else, and they didn't listen to me, I guess. So This is actually the second wire they put in. The first wire they put in is right here. So they trenched this wire in. This is just like 12 gauge. Then I said, well, that's definitely not going to run a welder. And then they came back and they said, oh yeah, we fixed it. We put in bigger wire, but yeah, still not what I need. So this is going to get ripped out. It's in conduit all the way over to there. So I'm just going to rip it out as I go. There's also this is Ethernet cable, supposedly direct burial, that I dropped in the hole when they put that other line in there. But I'm gonna run my own 3/4 inch conduit and put new Ethernet cable in it, because this has been here for a couple years, and I'm probably gonna hit it with this excavator, so I'm just planning for it to get destroyed. So all right, let me get the truck moved, and these two idiots, they're just just constant all day long. But let me get the truck moved, and we'll start digging over to the shop. That's like 3 feet, that's plenty. Make sure I got this lined up right. Need to go that way a little bit. Alright, so I got the trench dug. Everything went pretty good with that. Made it real deep underneath the driveway just because I could. But I changed the plans just slightly here. So I was going to put the direct burial wire all the way through here, and then I had 3/4 inch conduit to pick up the Ethernet cables. I think they're Cat 5 or Cat 6. They're in here. They're stubbed out in here. And I was going to bring, I don't know, 2 or 3, however many's in there, over to the shop. But I did a little more research, and I think what I actually want to do is run fiber optic. One reason being, we just got it out here where we live, and they're actually bringing it in from the road to people, so they haven't run it to our house yet, but it's going to happen soon. So it would be nice to kind of have the fiber optic ready to go. And then also Ethernet cables, you can't put them like right next to the power lines because they'll pick up interference, whereas the fiber optic, it's light, so it doesn't, no interference. So I think what I'm gonna do is get fiber optics and run them over here. As far as I can tell with the fiber optics, the biggest issue is putting the connectors on the end. I don't exactly know what's involved with that, but everybody online says get the ones that are pre-terminated, pre-done on the end, meaning the end of the wire already has the plug on it, so you don't have to put it on yourself. So because I'm going to get the pre-terminated wires, because they've already got the ends on the wires, it takes up a lot more space, so I can't run a small conduit. I've got to run a bigger conduit. So I got a bunch more 2-inch conduit, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a 2-inch conduit for the fiber so I can pull that through, and then I'm just gonna put the power in a conduit too, because I might as well. I was not gonna do it, trying to save a couple $100, but I don't know, I would just feel better if it was in, you know, conduit now that I'm out here. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use both of these entrances I put down here, because the one I only plan for it to be 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I won't use the 3/4. I'll bring the fiber optic up through this 2-inch, because it's a nice clean sweep. And that's the other thing with fiber optics, it can't bend, or I mean it can bend, but only so far. So I'll use this one, this nice clean sweep for the fiber optics, and then I've got another, I think they call them like LB, whatever those things, you know, they come up and then they go in, and I'll put the power through there. So it won't look quite as clean, but I believe right here there's going to be an AC system or something, so it won't, it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get this conduit going and get it in the ground so we can pull that wire through. I'm going to pull it from up here, pull it down the hill. I figure that'll make it easier instead of pulling it up the hill. So, all right, let's get to work. right, I got this thing taped in there, so we're gonna try to pull a string through. All right. I don't know, this might not be strong enough. All right, bigger vacuum, and I took it out of the thing there. It's definitely pulling harder than before. Overshot it a bit, but it worked. Got this taped up to the string, so we'll see if we can get pulled through there. Gotta go get Liz to help me. All right, it's coming. Huh? Yeah, keep going. It's working. You want to pull the string?
Is that ever an option?
Yeah. You can pull the string, I'll push. It's almost to the end, I think. There you go. Okay, cool. Okay. Need to go back? Yeah. Okay. Pull. It moves real easy now. All right, I'm over here at the panel box at the house. I've got my wire fed up through here into the box. There was a 30 amp breaker here, but we're gonna replace that with a 100 amp breaker right here. And all the power's off, and I shut off the generator too, so we're safe to touch everything. I probably could have done it without shutting the power off, but I'm not trying to cowboy this, especially with these big lines here. But everything's off, everything's good, so just got to route these wires and hook everything up. All right, I'm gonna have to grab this thing off the ground bar over on this side to use over here, because this wire's too big to attach to that ground bar. See, these little things go on the ground bar to basically let you attach a larger wire size. So I've got to put one of them over here. Feels pretty tight. I believe we can just hook this one right over in here to this neutral bar here. I'm gonna bring it up and hook it in the top one. That way I'll have some slack here if I ever need it, like that. That. All right, we just got to hook these into this here, which is going to be kind of difficult considering how rigid these wires are. See, it's basically the same size. That's 2/0. This is 2/0. Should go in there. All right, that one went in easily. Let me put this one in just to hold it. All right, I should hold it. I'll tighten it more after I get this one. there it is. There it is. Okay. And we should be good to go. Now we gotta go down and hook it up in this shop and put the panel in there. I can't get them any tighter, so that's gonna be how they stay. All right, cool. Just gonna drill a pilot hole and then I'll drill it from the inside. All right, hopefully I can get this wire through here. All right, that looks like that's perfect as far as the size goes. Should be tight. Let me go pull it from the other side. Looks like the gasket got torn up when I was backfilling. Alright, we gotta put this right in here. Let's sit it up a bit. Doubt that's going anywhere. Looks pretty good to me. This should be fine. Yeah. Should be fine. So you put it out a little bit so when the drywall goes on the wall, it sits flush with the box. I'm gonna take this one up and over to this one over here, I think. All right, Neutral's getting hooked here. This is for if you're gonna bond the neutral, I believe, which we're not gonna do. So we'll bring this one up and around and we'll bring it right in here. I have no idea if that's torqued enough. There's only so much I can do with a flathead screwdriver. I don't know why they would put that on there like that. With something like this, they should give you a lug or something, or an Allen head, or I don't know, something. Alright, this isn't really the right type of wire, but so I just had it laying around. It'll work. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to put a temporary outlet right here, just so I can have something to plug into down here at the shop until I wire the rest of it. There we go. What? Come on. This is such crap. Dude, why do they make these things like this? I didn't even tighten that hard. I mean, come on. That's just... Leviton? Be ashamed of yourselves. That's terrible. Like, they shouldn't even be allowed to sell this junk. Alright, well, it's gonna go without a cover then. Alright, let's cut this on and see what happens. Alright, let's go check. Alright. Everything's on here. Well, we got power. No green light. Let's plug something in. I guess you use a circular saw. Let's try this. In here. Cool, we got power at the shop now. Make it a lot easier to work down here. right, here we go. Yes. I got all that lime rock spread out. Looks a lot better now. And now you can drive right up to the slab there. I'm eventually going to put asphalt millings over this, so this is just kind of the base. I guess we'll call that a success, right, Shep? Success? Successful? Yes. Yes, it was a success. A success. Yes. All right. All right. Go find something else to do. All right, check this out. There was a towel laying up here, and I picked it up, and it had a snake in it. So he's down behind there. It looks like he's eating something. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but on that side there, he's got something in there. He's not moving a whole lot. It's kind of cold. Going, it's like a little, what do you call them? Like a ribbon snake or something? They're not poisonous or anything, venomous. They just eat rats and stuff like that. That's probably what's in his belly there. But anyways, I grabbed it and I was like, there's something more than a towel in there. And man, good thing it wasn't a rattlesnake or something. Well, it's probably too cold for them to do anything. They can barely move. I mean, it's like, I want to say it's like 50 degrees right now, so they're not real active. But I guess you're welcome to stay, buddy. Just as long as I know where you're at and you don't try to bite me. Just eat some rats or something around here. Probably all kind of stuff. All right, this is the roof situation on the shop. What I want to do is, today I want to get it all pressure washed off. And I know there's at least one hole because I accidentally made it when I had a pry bar, and when we were tearing apart this office down here, I shoved it up and it went right through through the roof. But anyways, I got to patch that. And then if there's anything else, any other holes and stuff, I want to patch them. Any of these nails or screws pulled up. And then I'm gonna put the same reflective coating I put on the carport over there. It seems to work pretty well. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. right, it's the next day. Everything's dry. This thing cleaned up nice. There's some spots down here. This is all from, I assume because this tree is here. This pine tree. It looks like, I don't know if maybe the sap does this or what, but I don't know. That's about the worst spot of the whole roof. Everything else is in pretty good shape. The hole that I have to fix is right here. There. I think that'll work. That one and easy. All right, we'll call that good. All right, and there's what it looks like from underneath. All right, that's pretty good. All right, there we go. Got it all finished. Turned out really good. There's some stuff that dropped off from the trees and landed in there, but I think it'll be fine. It looks a lot cleaner and a lot nicer now. And I think that maybe, you know, it sealed all the holes, if there were any, all the little cracks and seams. So yeah, we should be good to go with this. Sweet, looks good.